Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a story that has sent shockwaves across Eastern Europe and grabbed the attention of global audiences. Russia in panic after Ukraine's massive strike. The events unfolding over the past few days have revealed the intensity and scale of Ukraine's military operations and the serious implications for regional security and global politics. In this video, we will break down what happened, why it matters, and what it could mean in the days and weeks ahead. Over the last few months, Ukraine has been steadily increasing its military capabilities, showcasing a mix of advanced Western weaponry, strategic intelligence, and an unwavering determination to defend its sovereignty. This recent strike, however, stands out not just because of the damage inflicted, but because of the sheer audacity and precision behind it. It appears that Ukraine targeted critical military installations, infrastructure, and supply lines that are vital to Russia's operational efficiency in contested regions. The immediate reports suggest significant disruptions in logistics and communications, which could hinder Russia's ability to conduct further operations smoothly. The strike reportedly hit multiple locations simultaneously, indicating a highly coordinated effort that likely required extensive planning, intelligence gathering, and real-time adjustments. Analysts suggest that the Ukrainian military likely leveraged both drone technology and long-range missile systems, a combination that allows for high-impact strikes with minimal risk to personnel. These tactics reflect a broader evolution in Ukraine's approach to warfare, shifting from purely defensive operations to more proactive measures aimed at destabilizing Russian positions and forcing strategic recalculations. Social media and news outlets have been flooded with footage and reports of explosions, fires, and the aftermath of the strike. Although independent verification is ongoing, the visible impact has already sent ripples of concern through Moscow. Local authorities have reportedly taken extraordinary measures, including emergency drills, increased security protocols, and heightened surveillance, indicating the seriousness with which Russian officials are treating this event. The panic is not just about physical damage. It reflects a growing awareness that Ukraine is capable of reaching deep into areas previously considered secure. From a strategic perspective, this strike highlights several key vulnerabilities in Russia's military approach. First, it underscores the importance of supply chain security and the dangers of over-reliance on fixed installations. Second, it demonstrates the potential effectiveness of asymmetric warfare, where a smaller, well-equipped force can disrupt a much larger adversary by striking critical points rather than engaging in large-scale battles. Third, it reveals the psychological dimension of modern warfare. Panic, fear, and uncertainty can spread rapidly, affecting morale, decision-making, and even political stability within a country under pressure. International observers have also taken note of the strike. Governments across Europe and North America have issued statements acknowledging Ukraine's capabilities while also warning of the potential for escalation. Military analysts argue that such high-profile operations could provoke a reaction, ranging from increased military deployments to more aggressive diplomatic maneuvers by Russia. Yet, it's clear that Ukraine is demonstrating both resolve and competence, sending a signal to the world that it can defend itself and even project power in a limited but highly effective manner. One of the striking aspects of this situation is the timing. Analysts note that Ukraine has been carefully choosing moments to conduct high-impact operations, often coinciding with political developments in Moscow or international negotiations. By doing so, Ukraine maximizes the psychological and strategic effect of its strikes, creating pressure not only on military targets, but also on political decision makers who must respond to both domestic and international scrutiny. In the aftermath of the strike, reports have emerged of Russia scrambling to reassess its military deployments. Some units have been redirected to reinforce vulnerable positions, while others are reportedly undergoing rapid fortification and relocation. Such responses are costly and time-consuming, demonstrating that even a single coordinated strike can have long-term strategic consequences. Furthermore, the need to divert resources highlights the difficulty of maintaining operational readiness across a wide front when facing a nimble and adaptive adversary. The Ukrainian government has maintained a measured but confident stance. Official statements emphasize the defensive nature of the operation while subtly signaling Ukraine's capability to retaliate and escalate if necessary. This balancing act is crucial. Ukraine aims to maintain international support while demonstrating its growing military sophistication. The messaging also serves a domestic purpose, bolstering morale and reinforcing the perception that the military is effective and committed to protecting the nation. Experts have also highlighted the role of modern intelligence in the success of this strike. Satellite imagery, electronic surveillance, and local informants likely played a significant role in identifying targets and coordinating the operation. This integration of intelligence and military action represents a shift in how modern conflicts are conducted, where information dominance can often be as decisive as sheer firepower. The speed with which the operation was executed further indicates a high level of preparedness and a deep understanding of enemy vulnerabilities. The strike also raises questions about the long-term sustainability of Russia's operations. If Ukraine continues to conduct targeted attacks with precision, it could force Russia into a defensive posture, stretching resources thin and potentially causing internal friction within its military hierarchy. This pressure could have ripple effects across the broader geopolitical landscape, affecting alliances, energy markets, and regional stability. Analysts warn that continued pressure of this nature could influence political decision-making in Moscow, potentially leading to shifts in strategy or negotiations. Civilian populations in affected areas have understandably reacted with concern. While military targets were the focus, the psychological impact on nearby communities is significant. Evacuations, disruptions to daily life, and widespread media coverage contribute to a climate of uncertainty and anxiety. Ukraine has emphasized efforts to minimize civilian harm, a factor that contrasts sharply with some of the broader narratives surrounding Russian operations in the region. This distinction is not lost on international observers, who often weigh public perception as heavily as battlefield outcomes in assessing the overall conflict dynamics. The implications for the international community are profound. NATO countries, for example, are closely monitoring Ukraine's ability to strike deep into Russian-controlled territories. This capability could affect supply chains, military planning, and the perceived balance of power in the region. Meanwhile, countries with strategic ties to Russia are likely reconsidering their positions, both in terms of military support and diplomatic engagement. The world is watching closely, aware that each escalation has the potential to impact global stability and economic markets. Financial markets have already reacted to the news of the strike. Stock prices for energy companies, defense contractors, and regional currencies have experienced fluctuations, reflecting uncertainty about future stability in Eastern Europe. Energy supply chains, particularly gas and oil exports from Russia, are under scrutiny, as any prolonged disruption could have cascading effects across global markets. Investors are analyzing not just the immediate impact, but also the long-term strategic consequences of sustained military pressure on Russian infrastructure. Social media has played a pivotal role in shaping public perception of the strike. Videos, images, and first-hand accounts have spread rapidly, allowing people worldwide to witness the event almost in real time. This rapid dissemination of information serves multiple purposes. It informs, it influences perception, and it also serves as a form of psychological warfare. By publicizing successes, Ukraine reinforces the narrative of resilience and capability, while simultaneously signaling to adversaries that they are being watched and held accountable. The coordination behind the strike is also worth noting. Military strategists suggest that this operation likely involved multiple branches of Ukraine's armed forces working in tandem. From air defense units and artillery operators to drone pilots and cyber specialists, the strike demonstrates the increasingly interconnected nature of modern military operations. Such coordination requires rigorous planning, extensive training, and seamless communication, a testament to the evolving professionalism of Ukraine's military. As analysts continue to study the strike, several key lessons emerge for other nations observing the conflict. First, technological adaptation is crucial. Countries that can integrate drones, long-range precision weapons, and real-time intelligence have a significant advantage. Second, asymmetric strategies can offset disparities in troop numbers or resources. Third, psychological and information factors play a crucial role in modern warfare. Success is measured not only in physical destruction, but also in the ability to create strategic uncertainty and force adversaries into reactive postures. In Russia, internal discussions about the strike have reportedly become intense. Military officials are reassessing security protocols, command structures, and resource allocation. Some reports suggest increased censorship and efforts to control the narrative within the country, aiming to prevent panic from spreading among the general population. These measures indicate that Moscow perceives the strike as a significant threat, not just tactically, but symbolically. A single operation demonstrating Ukrainian reach and precision can have outsized effects on morale and public confidence. The geopolitical ramifications extend beyond Russia and Ukraine. Countries in the Middle East, Asia, and Europe are monitoring the situation for clues about modern military trends and strategic vulnerabilities. The strike provides a case study in how smaller powers can leverage technology, intelligence, and asymmetric tactics to challenge larger adversaries. This has implications for defense planning, military procurement, and regional alliances worldwide. Nations are taking note of Ukraine's ability to combine conventional and unconventional tactics effectively, which may influence future conflicts elsewhere. Looking ahead, it is clear that the conflict is entering a new phase. Ukraine's ability to execute high-profile strikes sends a clear message. It is capable, determined, and willing to take calculated risks to protect its sovereignty. For Russia, the challenge is to stabilize operations, maintain morale, and prevent further vulnerabilities from being exploited. The coming weeks will be critical as both sides reassess strategies, capabilities, and objectives. Observers agree that the psychological and strategic effects of this strike may be felt long after the immediate damage is assessed. In conclusion, Ukraine's massive strike has not only caused tangible disruption, but also demonstrated a shift in the balance of power and strategic perception in the region. Russia's response, both on the ground and within the political sphere, reveals an acute awareness of the threat posed by precise, coordinated operations. The situation is complex, dynamic, and potentially volatile, with implications for regional security, global markets, and international diplomacy. This event underscores the importance of modern military capabilities, intelligence integration, and strategic planning. It also highlights the psychological dimension of conflict, showing how a well-executed operation can create uncertainty, fear, and recalibration within an adversary's ranks. For Ukraine, it is both a tactical and symbolic victory, reinforcing its resilience and determination. For the world, it serves as a reminder that conflicts are increasingly fought on multiple fronts, physical, technological, and psychological, and that outcomes are shaped by much more than traditional military metrics. As we continue to monitor developments, one thing is clear. The conflict is evolving rapidly, and each new event adds layers of complexity to an already intricate geopolitical landscape. Ukraine's strike will likely be studied for years as an example of modern warfare, strategic calculation, and the impact of precision operations on larger, seemingly entrenched forces. The global community will watch closely, aware that the ramifications extend far beyond the immediate theater of conflict. The story is far from over, and the coming days may bring further surprises as both Ukraine and Russia adapt their strategies in response to changing realities. This massive strike, however, marks a significant moment, one that has demonstrated Ukraine's growing operational maturity, Russia's vulnerabilities, and the unpredictable nature of modern conflict. For viewers, analysts, and policymakers alike, it is a stark reminder that in today's world, precision, planning, and adaptability can redefine the battlefield in ways that were unimaginable just a decade ago.